A super long one tonight,
I don't know. We'll see. I never get that prediction right, so I've stopped trying. Okay, this is the regular meeting of the Braintree Select Board. It is Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. Lauren is away. Myself and Daniel are here at the town office with both of the Pauls. And Lou and Chelsea are online. Anything to add or subtract from the agenda this evening?
No.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at the minutes from November 4th, which included the public hearing and the regular select board meeting. Any questions or comments on those minutes?
No, I think Lou did some edits to it.
Yes.
Yeah, and those are incorporated in the one we have before us. I'd move to approve.
All right, all those in favor?
Oh, I'll second.
Okay, thank
I have
you.
a second.
Sorry. Okay,
You
so
pulled
Lou,
what
all
I did last week. I was studying the motions in seconds.
right, so Lou moved and Daniel seconded, and I'll call the vote.
All right,
I'm gonna
Aye.
abstain. I wasn't here.
we got 3 ayes.
Yep. Okay, citizens' comments. Paul, are you here for the zoning issue? Okay, excellent. And I don't see anyone else online. Oh, is Grace supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Huh, okay. I don't see her online. Yeah, maybe we'll table that and come back to it if we see her join. Okay. So we're at highway report.
They haven't been, there's not much going on. I think they spent a lot of time getting the trucks ready and fixing the dump bodies and sand spreaders and putting up wands. And I know Lauren and his brother went out and cleared some trees on Thresher that were bent over the road. They were worried about them coming down if there was a wet, heavy snow, and that made a problem. But otherwise, they've sanded a couple times and just sort of got ready for what was coming. And I think everybody's gone this week except Chris.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Oh, wow. So he's been sanding all of our miles?
No, Charles and Pete were here yesterday to help him, and then Chris Blanchard is running the pickup to fill in for Lauren while Lauren's gone. So he's some part-time help. If they need it while Lauren's gone, I think yesterday or the other day they've been out, besides Monday when Lauren was here to help. And then the only other thing was we got an email from a neighbor of the garage, which I assume was someone across the road, who was upset about what they felt was a truck tailgate slamming over and over at 4 a.m. Monday morning.
Okay.
It wasn't a truck tailgate. It was the loader on the screen, because everything was so wet, we were having to break up the sand and get it through the screen. There's really nothing that can be done for it if we want to sand the road.
Right.
So they know about it. They'll try to keep it down, but we do what we can. We already changed the beeper on the loader, so it's so it doesn't beep. But
right.
So we're mitigating as best we can, but I don't know how much we can do.
Okay, well, it sounds like it was just a condition of the.
Yeah, it might be the next time it's not an issue.
Yeah.
This time it had rained and it was wet.
Yeah.
They were trying to break up clumps.
Okay.
Is there a way that we can communicate that to the writer of the?
Yeah,
It'll be in the minutes. It'll be in the minutes.
And I need to respond to Jesse's email. I just haven't had a chance yet.
Got it.
And Jesse, based on a comment she received and not like a public.
Understood, but I'm great. It'll be in the minutes, and so excellent. Thank you.
Okay. For the hiring of John to do the tree cutting. So that he's an hourly part-time employee in that capacity.
Yeah, the question was about, there were 2 questions. One was about insurance and one was about wage. And by hiring him as an employee, we got a lower wage, much lower wage than if we'd had him as a contractor to do logging. And so it was a little more work, but it paid off financially to do it that way.
Okay, do we need to vote to approve
No,
his
yeah, I think-
hourly?
Oh, we didn't approve his hourly. We gave Lauren a range last time, a number last time, and said if you get this, that's fine.
Oh, okay, okay.
And that's where he ended up.
What was the range, just out of curiosity?
We didn't think you would take $20 an hour, but we didn't want to pay him more than $30 an hour. So I think he fell in it.
Okay, all right,
But he was there for 4 hours. It was like $120, so it didn't cost us much.
okay.
But we can use him now that he's on the books. In the future, we can roll forward if we need him again.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I know, let's see.
Okay. And then we just talked about the Cintas contract. We'll account for that in the budget, and if
Yeah.
there is anything that needs to be signed.
They haven't
we
asked us.
can-
It's weird, they sent us that agreement.
Yeah,
Haven't asked for.
but
a
they're
signature. But
providing
providing.
services.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's see, Grace. Grants report, Paul.
I was on a truncated schedule last week, so I don't have any progress to report or news on grants this week, but
Okay.
I will have more news at our next meeting.
Okay, sounds good. Since I missed the last one, did you provide any update last time on the hazard mitigation plan reimbursement?
No,
or-
still working on that.
Okay, right, thanks.
That's top of the list.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let's move on to the zoning bylaw update. So I guess just a few logistics first. In talking with Kyle from Two Rivers, we landed on a date for our next hearing. So we do have to hold another hearing to give the public an opportunity to review changes that are made since the previous hearing. I know we have a list of edits to consider that Paul Kendall distributed during the hearing, and I have that up here so we can talk about those further if we want to. There was at least one edit that Kyle and Kevin had talked with us about related to, I think, road width, like private driveway width.
No, it was the
Like-
miswording there where it said that they had to be. The right of way had to be 50 feet in length, and it should have been 50 feet.
50 feet in
width.
width, right, okay, so I know we have to
Page
make-
23.
Oh, thank you, Lou. Oh my goodness, Lou's on top of it.
Lou had green notes, so.
Yeah. And was there anything else that we wanted to consider?
The other question was the insertion of the map.
Right, so we have the map. I received a PDF of the map from Kyle today. And I'll make sure that's posted online. So just going back to logistics real quick. So Kyle has inserted a public hearing notice in this week's Herald. Yes, it'll be published
Thursday.
on Thursday. For, what was it, December 16th?
Yeah, it's the second meeting.
Yeah. So we'll again hold a hearing, or I propose that we hold a hearing in conjunction with our select board meeting on the 16th. So we would do the same thing. We'd open with the hearing, close the hearing, and have our regular select board meeting. And that would give the public an additional opportunity to weigh in. We would make available a new draft as of Thursday that incorporates any changes we discussed tonight. And then we'll have the opportunity, if the board wants to vote to adopt the bylaw at our select board meeting immediately following the hearing. And that would allow us to complete the process prior to the December 31st deadline in relation to the grant reimbursement. So that is, I guess, a proposal that I'll make right now. So I'll make a motion that we hold a hearing to further consider the zoning bylaw update at our meeting on December 16th in conjunction with our select board meeting.
I'll second.
I'd like to ask if we could consider separating the hearing from the select board meeting for a couple of reasons. While more convenient, I think, for us in one sense, because it's one day that we have meetings. What I wouldn't want to do is have us in a position of feeling crunched for time on the public hearing
Mhm.
because, oh, we've got a select board meeting looming. And I also don't want us to feel crunched and worn out as a select board when we're considering the comments after the public hearing. I think as well, at least for me, it's helpful to have the public hearing and then be able to digest whatever may come up. Who knows what may come up? And to have a little time rather than immediately moving into a meeting where we've now got to, vote on it. So I'm wondering if it might make sense to think about having the public hearing as soon as possible. Let's assume that's December 16th, and then perhaps changing that December 16th meeting, select board meeting, to December 17th.
Okay. Yeah, that's certainly easier given that Kyle already sent the hearing notice to the Herald. So,
Yeah, and
yeah.
my schedule is most open, so I do want to defer to those of you who have much more complex family schedules than mine. And I also want to consider the public. I mean, maybe it's as convenient for the public to have it, back to back. I just don't want us to feel, I don't want us or any members of the public to feel jammed up on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's fine, Lou. I take your point that it's good to have a few minutes to think about any additional comments that we receive and how we want to handle it. So, let me just take a quick look at the calendar and make sure that if we wanted to move to that Wednesday, that it wouldn't be an issue. So that's December 17th. Yeah.
Can you hold it all on the 16th and just continue the meeting on the 17th if you decide to do so?
Continue the select board meeting. We've never done that before.
Unless they'll have to give additional
Right.
notice, it's just continuation.
Right, so you warn when and where you're continuing the meeting when you adjourn, before you adjourn, or before you leave for that.
All I'm saying is you really don't know what's gonna happen on the 16th. It may be simple, but also you don't.
Yeah,
How much of other items of importance are on your regular agenda?
right,
So
yeah,
I'm just saying in terms of flexibility, rather than locking yourself in, you could do that.
that's a really, did you hear that, Lou?
I think I heard have both of them on the 16th, but if we're feeling jammed up, just continue the select board meeting to the next day.
Yeah. How do
Love
you
it.
feel about
Love
that?
it. Great
gives us-
hybrid. Great
Yeah.
hybrid.
Okay, so
Thank you,
let's go,
Paul.
yeah, that's a good idea. So let's go forward with both on the same day, and then if we're, because the 16th is potentially going to be when we take like a pretty detailed look at the budget. So there will be quite a bit going on during that meeting, but as you suggested, Paul, if no one really comes to the hearing to offer anything different from what we've already heard, it would be a shame to have to show up again. So, yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Paul. Great suggestion.
So we'll continue as planned. Okay, so my motion has been made and Daniel seconded. So I'll call the vote on that one. All those in favor?
All right.
Okay, great. Okay, so moving on to the bylaw itself. I would make another motion that we incorporate the suggested non-substantive edits to the draft unified bylaw that Paul Kendall submitted to the select board on November 4th. So I'll make that motion. If anyone wants a second, we can discuss if anyone has any questions or concerns about that.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion on adopting the non-substantive edits that Paul Kendall submitted to the board?
Yeah, friendly amendment,
Mhm.
which would be on the last of the suggestions, section 8.2 at page 84.
Mhm.
Paul has suggested a new first paragraph.
Mhm.
I would suggest that we replace the words, if you look at the proposed new first paragraph, I would propose that we substitute for the words dimensional requirements,
Mhm.
front or side setbacks. I think the only dimensional requirements that are subject to waiver under section 8.22 are front and side setbacks. So let's just call them what they are and be specific and consistent throughout, rather than opening up question of whether other dimensional requirements are included there or not. So
All right. Paul Kendall is nodding in agreement. So we'll do that, Lou. Thank you.
thank you, thank you.
Anything else?
Not on that one, no. Not on Paul Kendall's suggestions.
Okay. All right. So all those in favor of adopting Paul's suggested changes
Aye.
I Lou.
as modified by Lou. Thank you. Aye. All right. I think I heard Chelsea.
Mhm.
Everybody's good on that one? Okay. Great. So
And
I
there's the length versus width.
Yes, so another change, is modifying that on page 20, where are we?
23, section 3.20.3,
Got it,
the word width, or sorry, the word length should be width.
Yeah, I think that's just a typo. Also,
Right at the top of the page.
yeah. Got it, okay. So we're just changing it a bit, okay. Okay, what else, Lou?
I would propose what I think is a non-substantive change.
Mm-hmm,
At page 80, section 7.11, Paul Ray questioned the 3-year maximum window to complete all improvements in a subdivision unless extended by the DRB.
mm-hmm,
He was just questionable with or he was concerned about the level of discretion and lack of specificity there. And so
mm-hmm,
I was wondering if we could add the following language that would specify it a little bit. And so I would add on application or applications of the permit holder for good cause and without reasonable burden to the town or neighboring properties. So to help the DRB be able to extend, if the permit holder asked for it, and if there's good cause and no unreasonable burden to the town or others.
okay, so this is a parenthetical to the sentence, or no, it's just a new clause?
Yes,
Can you,
and
okay,
yep. Uh,
can you, state that again, Lou?
Yes, so each approval shall contain a time limit not to exceed unless extended by the DRB. So it's continuing on from the end.
Mm-hmm,
On application, parenthesis S, close parenthesis, of the permit holder
mm-hmm,
for good cause
mm-hmm,
and without unreasonable burden to the town or neighboring properties.
okay. On applications or
On
plural,
applications of the permit holder
holder for good cause and without unreasonable burden to the town or neighboring properties. Okay. Sounds good.
You want to vote on that one?
Yep,
I'd move that we make that change to 7.1.
Do you wanna, we could probably make another motion for all these changes. I just wanted to keep Paul's, since they were kind of in a nice tidy list in its
Yeah.
own motion. But maybe we can just keep going and we can vote. Unless anyone has any significant concerns along the way.
Okay, so you want to hear my next ones? Okay.
Yeah.
Page 17
Okay,
at section 3.8. Malcolm Fitzpatrick had concerns about the diagram accompanying section 3.8. And I would suggest we make a non-substantive change by deleting the diagram. I don't think it does anything relative to what it's next to, which is more than one principal dwelling per lot. There's only one principal dwelling on the drawing. And
yeah,
if you try and figure it out, it doesn't, the drawing doesn't do anything. It doesn't tell you anything that I can discern. So I would suggest we just delete that to avoid any confusion.
Lou is correct. It's a vestigial.
Yeah, it looks like it just
It
carried
should,
through.
it should have been eliminated,
okay,
because it does, has no bearing to the new wording.
Yeah, even the definition doesn't, like it's in a defined box, it doesn't.
Exactly.
Okay.
Again, sorry, now back to page sorry, page 23 again, but now section 3.20.4.
yep,
At subsection 1, Malcolm Fitzpatrick thought that maybe the words "at length" that are underlined there in blue maybe shouldn't be there. I think they should be there, but just to clarify that potential confusion, I think we just want to say the minimum right-of-way shall be 30 feet in length, with the traveled portion being a minimum of 12 feet in width.
No, I think it's be width,
No, it's a 30-foot width,
30-foot wide right of way with the travel portion being 12 feet.
yes.
Okay, then Malcolm was right that we want to get rid of the word and the words "and length"
yeah.
in sub 1. So I'd say we get rid of "and length" in sub 1.
Okay. Done.
Okay, page 25, section 3.24, sub 3. It's actually page 26.
Okay.
The question was in sub 3, how often could a permit be granted without the need for site plan review or conditional approval to add a residential structure? Sorry, an additional unit. How many times can you add an additional unit? Right? And so I might suggest that we make a non-substantive change where it says a permit may be granted by the AO. Change it to say only one permit may be granted by the AO. So that you're allowed to add one additional dwelling unit to your duplex or 3 unit, but only once.
I don't know that you could do it more than once anyway. Because then you fall out of this grouping. Oh, sorry, no, I'm in number 2, my bad. No, it still applies, because this is about taking single unit and duplexes into a multi-unit. So if you've done that, you're no longer a single unit
That's right.
or duplex, and you can't do it again.
Well, then under sub 3, we've done it once and we're now a 3 unit. And we want to add to my 3 unit.
Well,
Then again, you're now a 4 unit, you can't do it as a 3 unit.
no, because in some zones, it triggers, if you move from a duplex to a multifamily, it triggers other review.
So, but is everybody saying that you could only ever do this once?
Yeah, because then you take yourself out of that condition. If you have a 3 unit and you add a unit to it, you are now a 4 unit. So you are no longer a 3 unit that can add with just an administrative officer approval. The only way it would be twice is if you have a duplex and you turn it into a 3 unit, and then you take the 3 unit and turn it into a 4 unit. But that is the limit of it.
But if,
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if I take a 2 unit and I make it into a 3 unit,
Yep.
then you're saying I can get another permit and make it into a 4 unit.
Yes.
Okay,
Under this standard, but that's the end of it.
No, I think there's a confusion here, and I'm not looking at it, don't have the document in front of me. But a single family and a duplex are different from a multifamily.
Yeah, but that's correct. And up above, it says conversion of assisting single unit and duplexes, but 3 says in cases where only one unit is being created within a duplex or a 3 unit dwelling. So you've opened it up to a 3 unit there. And so Lou's concern is how many times can you do that?
Yeah, you've got to put a limit on it.
and Dan, you're saying that your read is that it's limited by the, if you got a 2, you can make it into a 3, and if you've got a 3, you can make it into a 4 if it's permitted.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying too, but it's self-limiting by its terms, right? You could say, you can say you're only allowed to do it once, period. But I think it's self-limiting. If you're saying this only applies to those who currently own duplexes or 3 units, right?
Right,
Then you're adding one, if you want to add 1 unit to an
Right.
existing 2 or 3 unit building,
because if you do it again, you're neither of those things,
that's correct.
right? I think that's right.
And
Okay, and then my change would probably be substantive, I guess, but I'll withdraw that proposal.
Okay,
And I do worry that, Lou, that is a substantive change, like that's a severe limitation. If you put in there, you can only.
Okay, great, and that's not my intention, it's just to kind of pick up some of the comments that were of concern or confusion to people, and if we could clarify them with non-substantives, I wanted to give it a whirl.
Yeah, but I think in this case, it's self-limiting and the terms of it change it. As soon as you
I understand what you're saying, thank you. Okay, that's all I've got for non-substantive. There were multiple, I think, substantive concerns raised, but those are the only ones that I could, feel good about saying. These are non-substantive. Let's see if we can make them at the select board and get them into the revised draft that is heard at the December 16th hearing. So-
okay. Well, I mean, as I understand it, we can make other changes prior to publishing a new version for public review before Thursday. So if there are other, kind of red flag or critical substantive changes that,
But it has to go back to the planning commission if we make substantive changes, right?
does it?
yes,
Oh, after the hearing?
Mhm.
Okay,
either that or you adopt it without the substantive changes, and having adopted without the substantive, you then instruct the planning commission to look at the substantive changes and come back with
with another draft,
amendment,
Yeah.
which it can then do, but that kicks it in a month, several months of the
Right.
process.
But
so
there's
we
no
could
time.
finish this draft, finish this
Exactly.
version.
There's no time limitation. on it.
There's no time limitation.
Okay, fair enough. So never mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the main problem is
Yeah.
that we have to go back and forth if we make.
Yeah.
Material changes.
gotcha. Okay. Okay, any other non-substantive changes then to consider?
The only other, sorry, the only other question that I had is, I think there are several maps that are intended to be a part of the bylaw.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure that we're getting all of those into the draft that's going to be considered at the December 16th hearing. You know, we
Yeah,
had none of them on the earlier draft. And like, you know, there's the zoning map. I think there's a flood map there.
The flood maps are not ours.
right, the flood
Flood
maps
maps
are
are
A
FEMA
and R,
maps.
or, oh, FEMA.
FEMA or A&R.
I think the only one that's ours is the zoning unit.
Yeah.
The other maps were part of the town plan, okay? But the only one in the bylaw has to do with the zoning unit.
So, Lou, I did look at the planning commission's page on our website, the documents that they posted in preparation for their hearing, that took place earlier this year, did include the map dated July 7th of this year. So I did look into that, after we spoke offline last week. So it's been posted, but it was not posted in conjunction with the hearing that we held on the 4th. So I think, for this hearing that we're planning in December, I think you're right, we should make it available in conjunction with those documents. And I did receive the PDF from Kyle today to include, so we can make it part of our packet that's available.
Yeah, and you know that the other piece of that is that it was not, to my knowledge, a part of the January public forum, and I can't find any reference to discussion about the revised map in the minutes. So just glad that we're including it and having a new public hearing with it out there.
Okay.
Do we want to discuss any of the things that were brought up at the last hearing? And what we're doing with them, or do we want to just let it sit?
Maybe we could talk about it at the hearing,
Okay.
when those people who
Yeah,
raised the
that's fine, I just
concerns.
didn't know.
But I think the short story is that we're not planning to propose any changes in relation to the
Yeah.
concerns that were raised, but we're happy to discuss and explain more about how it will
Why the
work
decision is
in
made.
implementation, yeah. Okay. All right, anything else on the bylaw?
Well, I'm gonna feel a while back.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
I did
so-
track changes.
I'll incorporate these changes into the draft and we'll make it available as of Thursday, which is the amount of notice that we need to give the public with the draft in advance of the hearing. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Do you
And
publish it? Do you accept all the track changes and publish that way, or do you publish?
I wasn't going to, because Kyle didn't do that with the planning commission's version. He had his track changes included, and so I was gonna leave them as track changes, and then when we adopt it, hopefully after our meeting in December, we can create a clean copy.
Okay.
One thing I'll just ask about that is, I'm not sure that those track changes capture all of the changes that have been made between our current zoning ordinance and the draft that we're all
Correct.
considering. And
Yeah,
so
and
to have
Kyle had
some,
flagged that, yeah.
and so to have a document that has track changes seems to indicate that here are all the new changes.
I see what you're saying.
So I kind of like a clean version rather than a confusing track changes that just has some of the changes tracked.
Yeah, okay. I'm happy to create a clean version, Lou. I agree with you. It is a little confusing because Kyle did say that just because of the different phases of the process that the planning commission went through, where Two Rivers was recording changes, not everything got captured in a single draft. So I see what you're saying. Paul, you had your hand raised.
Do we need to pass a motion to accept Lou's non-substantive changes?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can go ahead and do that. Okay, so I can make a clean version. That's fair. Okay, so,
I just think it's easier for the public to read too. I mean, we deal in documents every day. It
I
makes
know.
sense to us. It
but
just-
it is, yeah, it's not, if you're not used to Microsoft Word tracking. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we adopt all the additional non-substantive changes, that we've discussed, this evening and make
Second,
this copy available for the hearing.
Lou said,
second,
Okay, seconded, all those in favor?
"Hi."
Aye.
aye.
All right. Excellent.
So,
All right. Great. Thank you, Paul.
Good job.
Really appreciate your
Good job.
participation.
Yeah,
You're handling the process very well. I
Oh.
thought thoughtfully but deliberately. I mean, I don't think you can be criticized for not giving people adequate opportunity to voice, even if they voice the same thing over and over again, you know, complaining that you didn't hear, which really means that you didn't agree with me, but,
Right.
I mean, really, I think, it's been a wonderful process to watch.
Well, thank you for your
Yeah, that's great.
participation and leadership and planning commission as well. And hopefully folks understand that we're tabling some issues to tackle in a future draft and that there'll be another opportunity. So, yeah.
having a funny commission context is great. so
Yeah.
thank you for-
Yeah.
The only thing that I would, maybe this is presumptuous to say, but, depending on what those potentially substantive changes are that you wish to refer to the planning commission. Presumably, you are asking the planning commission to look at them with fresh eyes. If some of the things you are kicking back have already been substantively and repeatedly reviewed by the planning commission, and planning commission has already given you their recommendation. If you want fresh eyes, you're gonna need fresh people on planning commission,
Yeah.
okay?
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good enough?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Thank you, Lou. You've been a real brick through this whole thing.
Yeah. Period. to wait.
Sinker,
I was gonna say, what's that mean?
but a solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Right.
Been steadfast with this.
I know. Thanks, Paul. Take care.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead on to budget committee update. So, budget committee, what?
That's you.
Yeah, well, the budget committee met, was it yesterday?
Yeah, you met yesterday because I saw Bryce car shoot.
Okay, feels like so long ago.
I know.
My goodness. We met yesterday. We've now gone through the general fund twice and the vehicle fund and the capital budgets once. Jesse's taking some things back and making changes. There is an interest in focusing a little bit more on the capital budget outlook for FY27 in terms of grants that might be coming in. And I was wondering if it would be useful to set up some kind of meeting with Rita to just be like, what are we expecting that to be available in FY27? And I know there's grants that the amount is not known, and then there's some that, you know, states have towns get a particular allocation that's kind of planned in advance. And so
I can
If
also
we-
just see if she has a breakdown.
yeah,
And if she doesn't show up.
yeah.
She has a. Okay.
Something just to give us an idea, because right now, like, there's nothing in the capital. It's all basically like looking back at this point based on what we know we've done and like money we've taken in, which is fine. Like, that's good to,
Yeah, I mean,
to
but there's
continue to
things like
iron out, but
The Thayer Brook will be paid in 27, right? So we could tag that 27.
right.
Then the class 2 up here and the majority of the ones we have open now, we paid to 27, but you're not worried about those. You're looking prospectively at what might be
Yeah.
that we don't have.
Right, but that's actually a good point, is that in all reality, we won't pay the bill on or submit for reimbursement on like the structures grant for Fairbrook until 27.
No, because
For
we
the
can't
end of
start
the
working until
summer.
July 1st.
Right, so that, I can pass that along to Jesse. And then the other thing Jesse was asking is if the work, that's being done on Allen Bent Drive, is that under the Braintree Hill grant right now?
It is no, that is done, that's being done under a grant and aid.
Okay.
Well,
I think the
yes,
Braintree Hill is a class 2.
yeah, the Braintree Hill work
Okay.
for all the drainage is a class 2 that expires, that we have to do next year.
Okay,
And we have a lot of the material purchased, we just have to,
okay,
Dylan did do a good job flagging where he wanted under drain.
okay,
And we ran out of time, and so it gives us a chance to this spring see where the swales are that are real bad on Braintree Hill and target those with our under drain.
yep,
And like I say, we ran out of time, but next year is going to be an incredibly busy one because we have to finish that one that's going to expire, and we have to finish the Thayerbrook that's going to expire.
okay,
And then we have the one you're talking about, the Allen Bent, is a grant and aid that we have 2 years on, so that might not actually hit us till 28
okay,
as far as reimbursement. And then there's
Okay.
a better back road that is the same thing, that is a culvert by Arbuckles that
okay,
we're upgrading to a 3-foot culvert from a 2.5 or a 2,
okay. All
or
right,
up from a 3 to a 6, something like that.
gotcha.
That might also not land on us till 28.
Yeah,
Because there's 2-year windows on those, and given the 2 big projects next year, I don't know that we'll get to them.
okay. All right,
But I understand what you're saying, so let me see if there's anything else. But the likelihood
Yeah.
that we're gonna be able to squeeze in another grant to complete and get paid in 27 is not great, given the size of what they're having to do.
yeah, okay,
I mean, we're committing our guys to Thayerbrook in an effort to save money.
right,
So that's a month solid of 3 or 4 people.
okay. So I don't think the grant and aid that you're talking about is even on this list right now,
It
so
might
we
be.
should add it. Cause the only grant and aid on here is for Duclo, which is done,
No, there's another one that Rita told us we got. I'll find it.
okay. Um. Yeah, it might be, I don't know if you have time in the next week or so, like if you're driving by and you see that Jesse's here, maybe you could just look at this list with her, because I
Yeah.
think you have a lot of information that might help flesh this out.
So I guess right now we just have the application for grant aid. We haven't heard back, but we're
Okay. I guess, I don't know, Lou, are there any other details that are helpful to share at this point? You know, not having something to present quite yet, but anything else you want to mention?
No, I don't think so, other than just, we will be back with more likely, likely at that mid-December meeting with plenty of time, and that's right in line with the way we always get it done. There's a fair amount of information that isn't available to us until December. And until we get, because our last pieces of this are fine tuning, and until we get those big chunks of information, the ambulance, et cetera, we just don't know what our bottom numbers are going to look like. So patience will get us there, and we should be done by mid-December.
I will share that at this moment, we're not planning to do like a general fund contribution to offset an increase. Those days are over.
I mean, just
Yeah.
doing the back of the napkin in my head.
So we're gonna be, it's gonna be a more significant increase than we've seen in previous years, but I think we've held it off and we've kind of like spread it out as long as we could. And that's just the way things are. Our vehicle and equipment fund in particular, if you look at the way out years, it's pretty horrifying. But we tend to think nearer term in terms of what we talk about at town meeting, because I think that's just more realistic. So hopefully that'll be okay. And we were talking yesterday about continuing to pursue lease options with other trucks and equipment, if that could help.
Yeah, I
to
don't know, I
stay
don't know
in
how
the
that
fund.
works with the trucks. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Jessie said that she would only be interested if it was a situation where it was a lease to own, like with the grader.
You could do that with a truck, then I only do it with a plow body, right? That's the
Right.
thing.
Yeah,
You'd be out straight for the 150 for the plow body.
right. And then you would just
The
have it.
150, the
Yeah.
150 for the truck, you would,
Right. Yeah. So, I don't
or
know.
we just finance it and.
Yeah.
Which may be where we end up.
Yeah, we are going to pursue financing of the next truck for FY27 through the state fund that Jesse's had good luck with because they have really low interest rate. So we'll try that again.
Sure, gotcha.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, as Lou said, more to come on that.
I mean, the problem is this next truck's gonna be 320. I remember we bought them for 180.
Yeah,
I mean, the first one I was here to purchase was 180. It doubled in price.
yeah,
You can't.
That's why the vehicle equipment fund has, really changed, the rules have changed on it completely.
Well, that's the thing, when it was all planned out and funded 12 years ago, right? There was no idea that in those 12 years, the equipment would double in cost.
mhm.
Right. So all of a sudden that doesn't add up anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Dan, I'm sending you what Jesse shared with us on the capital plan, so you can take a look at what she's got listed there.
Yeah, if I see anything that's missing from our side, I'll
Okay.
flag it.
All right. So the next item is carryover from last time. This is something I proposed and I appreciate you all discussing it, even though I wasn't here last time. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but just in talking to a few folks and reading the minutes, it sounds like it was tabled to give the public an opportunity to weigh in on the question, given that it wasn't a incredibly black and white use of the Braintree Assistance Fund, given that the language of that fund creation indicated that it would go towards specifically Braintree residents with a demonstrated need. So I haven't heard any public comment in the interim, and there's no one here this evening to talk about it, so I don't know. If that's, yeah, something we want to discuss further, but I'll open it up.
I guess I'll just throw out that sort of what we were talking about last week or 2 weeks ago, is that certainly Braintree residents get a significant pro rata benefit from the food shelf. And this $1,000 contribution would be only a piece of that pro rata benefit. So I think we could make this contribution. And while it's going to a group that serves other than Braintree residents, that $1,000 will return to Braintree residents in one form or another. So I think while it's, I think we're meeting the spirit of the resolution, if not the letter, but maybe we are meeting the letter as well.
Okay.
I'm with you, Lou. I mean, if it's going in the pool, who's to say what $1,000 any Braintree resident is getting, right? So for all intents, they are getting $1,000 worth of goods we gave, no matter where it came from.
So I also feel responsible to share the fact that we did receive a letter from the food shelf this week or last week with their special appropriation request, because we do give them a special appropriation every year. It has in the past been $1,500. This year they're asking for $5,000 special appropriation, which I'm personally not opposed to, but
It's gotta go to the town.
I guess, right, it'll go on the warning. So I just wanted to share that as well.
So does that change the feeling about this?
Honestly, it changes my feeling a little bit.
Mine
because
too.
I didn't know that was coming. And again, I personally would support that, but I just, I was feeling like this particular allocation was timely, given the situation with the SNAP benefit program, which I think has now largely been reinstated. I don't know.
Yeah, that's,
I can't keep track of anything about, federal affairs these days. Too hard to follow.
I think it's on, whether it's funded is a different question.
Yeah. So it feels like that crisis is like paused for now, which is honestly why I was throwing this out there. So I don't know. I'm not feeling as motivated, but I could be talked back into it, I guess.
I think,
I mean, we also don't know if the voters are gonna approve their special appropriation. It does have to go on the warning. Maybe we could revisit this question at that time. If the voters decide not to approve it or to reduce it, then we could decide not to or we could decide to do a one-time allocation.
that also gets you through the winter season, so you'll know what you have left in your fund.
Yes, that's true, because we are expecting, because there has been a like permanent, or at least for this season, reduction in the LIHEAP availability. So I think we can expect that more people will need money for heating fuel.
Yeah, I like tabling it and being able to support rigorously or robustly an increased special appropriation if that makes sense at that time. And to not have a rationale available to defeat that increased appropriation, while, as Dan really well pointed out, it gets us through a chunk of the winter that we can see if there's what's left. So I think tabling it right now might make sense.
Okay. Also, I've asked the food shelf folks to provide us with a, kind of detailed rationale for their increase in their special appropriation request, because it would be helpful to know if like that's going towards like their operational expenses and not like food. Because I was honestly envisioning this going towards like food purchases to stock the shelves.
But we have, and we have to sell it,
Right. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
if we don't, if we want to, we have to sell it, but
Right.
there has to be, we have to
Right.
be able to explain it, because that's the first
Right.
question that's gonna be asked, is holy crap,
Yeah. Right.
why did it triple?
Right. So,
I really appreciate you bringing that like special and urgent and creative request to us though, Megan. Like that's part of your great leadership, but I really appreciate the opportunity to think about it.
well, thanks for considering it while I was away. But yeah, I think I'm good with tabling it, if that's okay with everyone else. Okay. All right, our next item and only item under new business is just a flag that there is a new town health officer appointment process. So this is just a heads up in relation to the appointment that I believe that we will make in conjunction with our post-town meeting appointments. But there's just a few different levels of approval. Paul included the email I received in the packet, and it's an opportunity to think about the process, but also to consider, if anyone might have an idea of, who to appoint as a health officer in the future. Lindsay Hopt has been our health officer for many years, but it's been pretty quiet, I think, on that front. But it is an important position if there is a complaint related to living conditions or other conditions that the health officer would have jurisdiction over. So just wanted to flag that. I think that's it. Excuse me. Payment orders. Did you look at them?
Yeah, I'll make a
Okay.
motion to approve.
Right. I'll second. I haven't looked at payroll yet, though.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, Lou, I forgot that Lou wasn't gonna be here.
Sorry.
All right, so the second and payment orders, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Let's get this final. Thank you.
How are you doing, Chelsea?
Making bagels.
Making bagels? Do you have to sign Lauren's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing great. Almost done making bagels.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Sorry, delayed. I had to run back over here from the sink.
I'm
to
sorry.
Turn my mic back on.
As soon as I asked, I was like, oh no, she's probably running to find her phone to unmute.
Does she boil them?
Paul wants to know if you boil your bagels, Chelsea.
Sure do. Every morning, bright and early.
Oh my goodness.
I saw the sander getting ready to go out this morning. That's how early I'm up.
Nice. All right. Okay. Look fine. Good note. Smart. Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve payment orders.
Payroll.
Excuse me, payroll warrant for November 20th through. Oh, payroll warrant for November 20th for the pay period 11/2/2025 to 11/15/2025.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
I
And I think, can these move forward with just our signatures?
They can move forward just mine.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Good thing you're here.
I got the power.
All right. Okay, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Also finish your bagels.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you very
everybody.
much.
almost done.
All right, have a good night, everyone. Take care.
Good night.
Night.
You guys also. Thank you.
Maybe I'll go get the